Ho 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 viewers, 'tis the season to be totally fucked up. And yes, this week's video does include a totally fucked up Christmas reference. Yes, the world doesn't stop being totally fucked up because it's Christmas. Some would say it gets worse at this time of year. Let's leap straight in with one of the stranger crimes I've heard about recently. The crime actually happened a while ago, but it was in the news again this week because of additional charges being laid. Now, this is about a crime spree in the Amish community in Ohio. Oh no, you think? Amish crime spree. What are they doing? Using calculators? Being in the early 20th century? No, it's like, I guess an ecumenical? Hey, it's been Friday drinks again. I should stop trying to say big words. But a theology debate that's gone a bit wrong in the Ohio community. Someone's taken it into his own hands and there's a gang of Amish. That really doesn't strike terror into your heart, does it? When someone says, there's a gang of Amish! Okay. But if you are Amish, it could be bad news, because what these guys have been doing is tying people up they disagree with and cutting off their beards. And I think in the case of women, cutting off their hair. Now, that might sound kind of lame, but in Amish terms, like cutting off their beard, because the beard and the hair is very symbolic to at least some Amish, probably all of them. I'm just portraying my ignorance there. But this is kind of like if there was a dispute among Orthodox Jews tying a guy up and force-feeding him bacon. It's bad, okay? And there's a whole family involved. There's a dispute over, you know, a ruling that's been held by their local pastor. And the guy at the head of this family causing the trouble, his name's Mullet. Which just goes to prove what I've always said, mullets are totally fucked up and should be illegal. Now here's a story from Australia that seems to be getting more fucked up by the day. Earlier in the week there was a story about a guy who bought a hard drive to store digital video for a documentary he's making, and it turns out that the digital video on his documentary, it all got corrupted. It's damaged beyond help because there was malware on this little drive he bought, and movies, illegally downloaded movies were on the hard drive that he bought. He put there. Well, that's what you get for buying second-hand computer equipment. Except it was new. Or should I say, new. Which he bought from a retailer. Not from eBay, not from some dodgy bloke on the corner, but a large chain of stores in Australia called Dick Smith. And they've now fessed up that publicly, oh yeah, we have this policy, when someone brings something like that back, we wipe it and then just resell it as new. You know, even though it's not new. And he's going, oh, we've got a policy. We didn't do it in this case, but you know, we've got a policy. A little bit more trivia with Dick Smith. Long-term viewers go, hey, haven't you mentioned him? Yes, when I was looking for Dick, there's a Dick Smith store that as I've been to, and nights when I'm even less coherent than this. There's a couple of videos on my channel because there's a Dick Smith store in the city in Melbourne where one of the lights has gone out on their sign. So instead of being Dick Smith, it's just Dick, which is a bit disconcerting when you're drunk staggering through the city and there's just a big sign saying Dick. It disturbs me anyway. And in case you thought that was accidental, because my first video showing that is from 2008, and they still haven't fixed it. I'm pretty sure that's deliberate, and it's even more sure it's deliberate with their current advertising campaign is Dick Does. It's like, you know, who has the best gear? Dick Does. Yes, yeah, they're doing innuendo because they're talking about a penis, right? In case you didn't get it, they had an ad for Christmas which may qualify as the most totally fucked up Christmas moment I've seen, where the ad was, who puts extra go into Santa's hoe? Dick does. You get it? Because Santa's going to rape you in your sleep. That is totally fucked up. And finally, as next year will be the last totally fucked up Friday of the year, I'll probably do a retrospective. I'll have to go back and look at my videos and think of what did I think was the most totally fucked up story of the year. And this week, there was one, a very late entry into the stakes, but stands a good chance. And it starts like with the headline, and it doesn't get any better after the headline. But I've written this down. The headline was, man eats cocaine from brother's butt, comma, dies. Okay, you know, like, jokes like Mr. Mackey on South Park, how bad anti-drug education is for kids. Like, drugs are bad, okay? Yeah, so these two brothers had been arrested on drug possession charges, and the cops hadn't really frisked them, and one of them had some cocaine in his butt crack, and the other brother thought, oh, we don't want to get done for that. And so in the back of the squad car, he's gone down and sort of got the cocaine out of his brother's butt and swallowed it, and he's ended up overdosing. Okay, while I won't go so far as to say drugs are bad, okay? Kids, drugs that you take out of other people's butts, those drugs are bad, okay? And speaking of headlines, it was a week for headlines. Close behind this one is a couple others just from this week. Great headlines like, villagers barricaded themselves in pub to hide from naked man with axe, as you do, and Oniony pig farts legal, court rules. Well, thank God there's some sanity in the courts, because if our Oniony pig farts get made illegal, then the terrorists have won.